You ever stand on a ridge, boots crunching frost, watching an HOA president try to turn your federally protected rescue cabin into a tourist spa, not knowing she's triggered a silent alarm that's got choppers inbound? That's the surreal mess I stumbled into one October morning. But let me tell you, when those blades roared overhead and her smug grin vanished, it was the start of a reckoning that saved lives and shut her down for good. Drop a comment below. Where you watching from? Because this tale of a cabin, a con, and a storm's going to stick with you like pine sap on your hands. I'm Caleb Reed, 40, a forest surveyor who calls a 15-acre slice of Blackthorn, Montana, home. My land's rugged, pine ridges, icy streams, no neighbors for miles, just how I like it. It's got a cabin built by my dad, not for vacations but for purpose. Years back, the state asked to make it an emergency wildlife rescue shelter, a fallback for disaster teams during fires or floods. I said yes, on one condition: nobody touches it without my say-so or state clearance. Fences, coated gates, no driveway. It's meant to stay hidden, stocked with gear, ready for crises, not cozy getaways. Blackthorn's quiet, but it borders Pineview Estates, a fancy subdivision full of retirees and their pristine lawns, run by an HOA led by Sharon Tate, a 55-year-old ex-event planner who thinks her title's a crown. Sharon's got a knack for meddling. Once fined me for unruly grass on land she doesn't control, and she's had her eye on my cabin, seeing it as some untapped resort gold mine. I hadn't been up to the cabin in 2 months. Fall hit hard, snow early, fog thick enough to lose your truck in. I'd left it locked tight, supplies ready, beacon system armed per my deal with the state. Then one crisp morning, I hike up the ridge to check on things, and my jaw hits the dirt. There's Sharon, in a puffy jacket, ripping a giant ribbon off my cabin's porch like it's a grand opening, with a crowd of tourists, selfie sticks, strollers, the works, snapping pics. She's yelling about an exclusive wellness retreat, some guy's asking about hot tubs, and I'm frozen, half laughing, half ready to call the feds. That cabin's no spa. It's a restricted shelter, and the second she jiggled that government-issued lock, she tripped a silent alarm straight to emergency dispatch. I mutter, "You just broke into a federal zone, Sharon," heart racing, knowing choppers are already spinning up. I scramble down the slope, thorns snagging my coat, fury building with every step. Sharon's giving a tour, calling the cabin a community care hub the HOA unanimously approved. A woman asks about yoga retreats, and Sharon nods like it's booked. I step into the clearing, arms crossed, voice low. No. Heads turn, tourists confused. Sharon's face cycling through shock, irritation, panic, then a fake smile. "Caleb, you're early," she chirps, too loud. I point to the weathered plaque by the door. Restricted federal emergency shelter. Authorized access only. "This ain't your land, Sharon. It's a rescue site." Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. In misunderstanding, she stammers. "We thought it was abandoned." I raise an eyebrow. "So you turned it into a hiking attraction?" A tourist snickers, then looks mortified. The crowd shifts, uneasy, as I pull out my phone, showing her HOA email, secret gem, wellness cabin on Ridge 7, with a sign-up sheet and discount code. "This isn't a concept, Sharon. It's fraud." Her face pales, but she doubles down, whispering, "Let's talk privately." I shake my head. "You made it public when you picked that lock." Tourists back away, one checking his phone like he's in hot water. I don't tell her the lock's beacon is pinging. A level 2 alert, chopper's 20 minutes out. She's digging her grave, and I let her swing the shovel. Then it happens. A rotor's thrum echoes, a shadow slicing the clearing. 3 state choppers circle, low and mean. Sharon's eyes dart, voice cracking. "Tell them it's fine, Caleb." I lean in, voice cold. "You broke protocol, brought guests." "You tell him." Agents rappel down, badges glinting, and the tourists scatter like spooked deer. Sharon's alone, arms wrapped tight, staring at the plaque she ignored as I hand over my permits, GPS grids, and state contract. She tried turning it into a spa, I say, pointing at her. Her dream's done, and the fallout's just begun. The next day, Sharon's HOA sends a weasel-worded email, miscommunication, community enrichment. No mention of federal trespass or the $10,000 response cost. Worse, it hints at continuing the Ridge Cabin project. My blood boils. She's not backing off. She's scheming harder, thinking she can spin this into a win. I've dealt with her before. Fast-tracking pool builds without permits, fudging votes for a patio. But this is federal land, my dad's legacy, a lifeline for folks in disasters. She's not touching it. I head to their board meeting, flannel still dirty from cabin checks, a folder thick with evidence. The room's packed, eyes darting, sensing drama. Sharon's at the podium, fake humble. Recent events were a mix-up, she says, voice syrupy. We're exploring safe uses for underutilized spaces. I clear my throat loud. Her eyes lock on mine, smile faltering. Funny you mentioned safety, I say, standing. County's investigating a federal trespass on a restricted shelter. Murmurs ripple. I slap my folder down. State contract, restricted zone map, wildfire control agreement. This cabin's not yours. Never was. Tampering's a felony. Sharon stammers. It was a plan, not enforced. I hold up her email, map circled. You sold it as a spa, Sharon. The room's electric, neighbors shifting, whispering. A board member, Ed, asks, is this true? Sharon mumbles about strategic plans, but I cut through. You triggered a taxpayer-funded response and want to develop it? That's not a plan. That's reckless. She tries one last spin. We could share it, work with the state. I laugh sharp. Negotiate with the feds who sent you a cease and desist. Laughter breaks out, not cruel, but done with her nonsense. Ed speaks up. We didn't know the full story. We'll amend the record. Sharon whispers, you made me look like a criminal. I lean close. You did that when you tried turning a shelter into a yoga lodge. She slinks out, meeting over, her grip slipping. I think it's done, but Sharon's not one to quit. A buddy at county planning. Jake calls, someone's probing my land zoning, asking if it's inactive, hinting at repurposing. It's Sharon, going rogue, betting she can muddy the waters enough to win. I dig out old files, permits, logs, photos from the day we wired the beacon. Proof the cabin's vital. I scan it all, back it up, draft an affidavit with timestamps, and send it to the state's emergency office. I'm not reacting anymore. I'm fortifying. Then I find her flyer in my mailbox. Wellness on the Ridge picnic. No address, but my land's shaded on the map. She's rallying neighbors, selling a dream to pressure the county. I'm livid, but I play smart, sending a rebuttal letter to the board, CCNG the county attorney and Sheriff Dan Walsh, citing laws she's ignoring. I'm not letting her rewrite reality. At 3 a.m., my phone buzzes. Motion alert, South Trail Cam. I pull up the feed. 2 figures, one Sharon, hood down, with a guy toting a toolkit. She's whispering, just the panel. Prove it's not operational. My heart pounds. She's sabotaging the shelter to fake abandonment. I grab my duffel, first aid, flashlight, shelter papers, and race to the trailhead, parking short, moving silent through snow. I crouch by a cedar, watching them near the utility box. The guy raises a wrench. A click sounds. Another beacon tripped. Sharon hisses, hurry, if it's active, the plan's dead. I step out, flashlight blazing. Plan's already dead, Sharon. She spins pale as the guy drops his wrench, hands up. This a misunderstanding too? I ask, voice hard. She stammers, we're checking it. The guy blurts, she said it's just a box. I send a pre-typed alert to Dan. Code 2, tampering caught. Sirens hum, lights flash, deputies swarm. Dan claps my shoulder. Good call, Caleb. To Sharon, colder. Trespass, tampering federal gear. That's prison talk. She's silent. Eyes down, cuffed. Led away with her hired hand, tools bagged as evidence. The news breaks fast. HOA president caught sabotaging a federal shelter. Sharon's on leave, but whispers fly. She's done. Janice, interim chair, emails. No more Ridge projects. Full review underway. The courthouse hums at Sharon's hearing, packed with press, feds, locals. My footage, her voice plotting to prove it inactive, sinks her. The judge, voice like granite, calls her actions a safety risk, issuing a restraining order, barring her from my land. HOA rolls, and setting a criminal probe. Her lawyers flinch. She's gray, silent, a ghost of her smug self. She resigns, sells her house, vanishes, some say to another state, others a low-key job. I don't care. She's gone. Winter hits hard, a blizzard burying Blackthorn. The cabin's moment comes, a father and son, lost hiking, ping near creek. Rescue teams call. They need Ridge 7. I open the shelter, generator groaning, maps out, coffee brewing. I guide them, slopes to avoid, trails to take. And 10 hours later, they bring the pair back. Dad's leg broken, son hypothermic but alive. The cabin's warmth, gear, radio save them. Medics nod thanks. The boy whispers, "Thank you." Dad crying into his scarf. As the medevac chopper lifts off, snow slowing, I stand outside, feeling it deep. This is why I fought. Not for me, not against Sharon, but for this. Lives held safe when the world turns cruel. Spring thaws, and Fairhaven's different. Janice's HOA is quiet, fixing trails, not dreams. Neighbors wave, no longer scared of Sharon's clipboard. At a meeting, Janice unveils a framed photo of the rescue. Cabin glowing, medics at work, plated, Essential, Ridge 7, 2014 to 2025. No applause, just respect. I nod, humbled. The cabin's upgraded, satellite cams, reinforced shutters. Untouchable now. I visit weekends, coffee in hand, book by the stove, watching deer at dusk. It's not mine to keep, it's ours to protect. But here's where I pause. Could I have stopped Sharon sooner? Talked her down, shared the cabin's rules early, avoided the feds? Maybe. Yet when someone picks a federal lock, endangers lives for a spa fantasy, sometimes you gotta let the choppers land. Law heavy, truth clear. Another HOA's sniffing around public land nearby. And I'm torn. Stay quiet or step up? What do you think? Ever fight for something bigger than you? Or shut down a bully? Spill in the comments. I'm all ears. If this hit you, smash that like button, share it with someone who'd love the twist, and subscribe for more tales of holding ground. Because sometimes the guy on the ridge is the one who keeps the shelter safe.